Hello friends, and welcome to a very special Zen and Art miniature painting video. This is the last video for the year 2023. We'll be rolling into 2024 shortly. It's December the 22nd, Friday, and we are off to Texas on Sunday, but we'll leave the house tomorrow being Saturday. So sadly I will not be home as I was last year at Christmas time to enjoy some hobby time. Obviously that sort of really draws a line under the year in terms of hobby progress, so you know, it is what it is. It's good to see family and so forth, so can't complain too much, but yeah, I will obviously miss out on those wonderful days of sitting at home with no work, getting some real hobby progress done. So I thought what I would do is just show you what I've managed to get done in the last while, since the last hobby update progress video, just to kind of cap the year off. So you can see here quite a few goodies I have put out here for your delectation, I suppose is the right word. What I've done is, the back is the Roman rebasing project, and then the front is some other bits and pieces, some of which may look familiar. As a rule, I don't show stuff that's already been shown on the channel unless I can help it, or unless it's like a showcase or something. But I thought it would be interesting just to see kind of the fruit of my labours kind of en masse after a while. So let's start with the small bits and bobs first. So you may remember a few weeks ago I showed you some Carthaginian spear, well, the African spear for Carthaginian army in 15mm, and here the two bases are now completed. I opted for the 40x30mm deep bases. I do quite like square 40x40 bases, but I have some of these 40x30 bases left from the DBM incarnation of this army, so I figured I would just use them now, and you know, it still kind of looks good, doesn't it? This is the army where these are the units where I've been doing freehand shield designs, so you can see how that's turned out. I think it's okay. Obviously it's not like top notch and doesn't look as good as transfers, but I kind of like the sort of slightly hammy look that it's given me. And then the troops at the rear, which is typically where we see our own troops from, they look pretty good as well. So I'm very happy with the way they've turned out. I followed Kevin Krause's advice and used the Army Painter soft tone to just kind of provide a wash, and then did a few touchy highlights here and there. Not much, mind you, just a little bit here and there, spot color kind of thing. So I'm quite pleased with how they've turned out, and they didn't take that long, all told, just a few hours over an evening. Even the shields, to be honest, were just quickly slapdash jobs. They didn't suck up a lot of time, so I was quite pleased with that. So these are now based and ready to get varnished and then join the rest of the army with the Numidians. No, not the Numidians, the Libyan skirmishers that you would have seen a few months ago. They still need to be varnished as well. Next in the lineup are some 6mm tanks that you may have seen a while back. These are the 7TP single turret variants for the Polish army in 1939. And they have this delightful camo scheme, which I really enjoyed painting. My reference was actually a 1:72 scale kit painting guide, so I just kind of did. Now when you get up close to them, as I'm showing you here, it kind of gets a bit blotchy, right? Oh, hang on. As you get close to them, they look blotchy, right? But bear in mind this is 6mm, so what we really want to do is we want to zoom you out to about here, and the impression we get there is these rich tones. And what I've tried to do, let me see if I can show you what I mean using a tip of a brush. This is not going to be great, but here where I'm sort of indicating, I've tried to get some sort of some slight dark outline around the camouflage patching, just to sort of show the changing color. So that's worked out quite well. I'm quite happy with the way these have come out. So these little 6mm tanks are now going to be part of a early war Polish force which bravely defend their homeland. So I can use these for pretty much any game system. I've done the round bases like a big man vehicle, and then the other two is just regulars if I was doing something like I Ain't Been Shot Mum. But I mean, bases on tanks doesn't really matter, you know, especially if you're playing something like Rommel where it's square based anyway. So anyway, it was just purely like aesthetic, right? A little bit further to the right here are some French guns for the Franco-Prussian War. So I bought an army pack from Pendraken, and I only got 3 guns. So and I've decided to do them in little batteries of 2 per base, right? So a battalion is 3 of these bases, and I've gone for my guns to be 2 per base like this. I didn't want to just have single guns. I thought it looked kind of cool to have 2. So I've done half a base here, as you can see, with the 3rd gun, and I just need to order more guns. These are 6-pounder, I think, or maybe 4-pounder guns. But the uniforms came out really nicely. The gun carriages, I'm not sure if that green is really right. I'm still trying to hunt for a Vallejo color. I'm loath to order the Foundry Triad for French artillery if I can get a relatively close color match from Vallejo. So if anybody has any ideas on that, I'm all ears. I'm not planning on ordering anything from Foundry for some time, so if I can avoid basically just ordering paint and having it shipped to the States, I'd rather do that. But yeah, the uniforms came out really nice and bright, which is what I'm aiming for. I used a bit of soft tone wash on these ones as well, just to kind of give them a bit of shading and then a touch up with for a highlight, and they've come out really nice. I think what I'm trying to do is when I do paint the Prussians, I'll try and make the Prussians a little bit darker, so that there's the sort of a real sense of blue versus an almost blackish blue force. But I hope that little smatterings of red kind of stand out as well. Again, in person you probably notice it a bit more, but yeah, I was quite pleased with the way these turned out. Very quick again to do, didn't take that long. Just ran out of guns really. So I've moved on to a unit of chasseurs on foot as the next unit for the Franco-Prussians. Oh, for the Franco-Prussian War rather. And then I think in the new year I'll be looking to order some more guns and some more stuff from Pendraken when the time comes. But you know, that's in the future. I probably have to sell some junk first before I can really justify purchasing more things, right? It's the old dilemma of you know, finite space and having to balance goods in, goods out kind of thing. So there we go, those are the guns. So I hope you like them, if this is your kind of cup of tea. If not, you know, well, I'm sure there's something here for you. And then finally, the Romans. So some of these figures will look remarkably familiar, like these green clothed auxiliary archers. These are the Black Tree Design ones that you may have seen a while back. But what I've done is I've actually gone through rebasing the Early Imperial Roman stuff that I have painted. So this isn't everything, just to be clear, but this is pretty much all the auxiliary stuff. I have a few odds and sods knocking around, so like I'll speak to you about that in a minute. But basically, like, there's some more auxiliary archers that I've shown before, which just need to be varnished along with all this stuff. I've not included them in this picture. Some Eastern archers. There's another skirmish base of these blue ones here, also to add, and I'll do like a showcase later showing them off. Then there's some cavalry. These are first corps figures, which you know, venerable, but they are quite nice. First corps is a very weird style of sculpting. I find their faces are very idiosyncratic, maybe that's the right word. This, you know, there's some touch-ups that need to happen on these figures because they've been battered a bit from travel. But I figured once I've got them based up and everything, I'm in a much better position to actually go along and do the highlights and the touch-ups and stuff, because there's no point touching up stuff you're not going to see, right? And then auxilia here, these are primarily, well, they are all Foundry. Some of them are the Steve Sala, the chunky boys, and then there's some of the older Perry command figures scattered amongst them, which don't really fit. They're a bit small, but you know, whatever, it's good enough for government work, I suppose. But as a block, they look quite good. So I'm hoping in the new year to get a chance to actually take them for a spin. One of my fellow club members has an Early Imperial Roman army, so we're thinking of doing a cool kind of like Civil War game. That would be pretty sweet. But anyway, so that's 4 bases of auxilia. As I mentioned, I do actually have more. I have like 6 or something that just need, maybe 7 that just need shield transfers from Little Big Man Studio so they fit in. I have loads of legionaries that haven't been based yet. They're still on their single bases, so those need to be sorted as well. I think I've pretty much done all the bow that I have, and I have a few more cavalry, but I'm like a figure short for the next base, that type of thing, or maybe I'm not quite sure. But I need to dig through like unpainted stuff to to get the numbers right. So I'm working in, as you can see with the cavalry, I'm working in multiples of 3. So I kind of want bases of 3. So therefore I need to. I think I have another 2 painted, and then I might have like 2 more spare. Looking at the numbers, I can't remember what I bought from First Corps. It's been a long time. So as I kind of work through what needs rebasing, it'll become evident what spares and extras there are, and I can reconcile that later. And if that requires painting up a couple of extra figures here and there, I'm more than prepared to do that. But it's nice to make some forward progress. And then the final thing was just this unit of legionaries over here. These are Perry legionaries, so they're a bit smaller than the Sala ones. Now these are quite battered, as you can tell by the shields and lots of the metal and so forth is chipped. But this was an experiment in seeing how many legionaries I could fit on a base, and I managed to fit 12 on, because these Perry ones are slightly smaller than the Sala style ones. Now my mate Dave Jagger actually has Mr. Jagger has the Sala Roman, so do I. They only really fit 9 to a base because they're quite chunky. But I think you'll agree they look pretty good, all mobbed up. Again, the plan will be to go and do some touch-up highlights on them and some clean-up and like where it's chipped and so on. Like the edge of the shields have like worn away a little bit, probably from like general handling and stuff over the years. So I'll probably just go along and just run some like goldish colours up the edges there just to kind of clean those up. But yeah, it looks pretty good, I think. You know, I don't think I'll do another base of 12. It's a bit much. There's 2 reasons. One is it really compresses how much space you have to work around like feet and stuff. So if you look here, getting into the gaps here to actually do the basing material was a bit of a nightmare. So I think what I may do is just string them out and do them in groups of 9 instead. The other benefit of that is that I just get more base for my number of miniatures, right? I basically, you know, I'd save three per base, and then once you save 3 bases worth, you've got another base, right? So it all kind of adds up and might be worth doing. What I may perhaps do with these slightly smaller sculpts, these Perry sculptors, because I have a little bit more latitude in terms of if they are in a 9, there's a bit more space available. I might do something where I have like a little vignette or like a casualty or something on the base with them, but the space would then allow for it. As it stands currently, they're a bit too compact for that. But they do look good, and they do look like heavy infantry, which is what they're supposed to be, so I'm quite chuffed how they came out. Lots of shields broke off, as you can imagine, because they just fit on with a little lug. So as they were being handled by me and were ripped off their old bases, oftentimes the shields were popping off. Not a big deal though, just a bit of super glue and we're good to go. Right, so that's it really. There's obviously more to come. I've got some hoplites that I've been working on recently. That was just a whim again, as usual with me. I just felt like doing some on a weekend and spent a Sunday doing hoplites and pretty much finished them. I just need the shields and spears done, and then obviously they have to be based. And then other than that, yeah, just looking forward to really getting more of my ancient stuff done. I've had the really good fortune of being part of a club, so we've been playing a lot of American Civil War recently, and then also Ancients. It's been really fun to play test a new rule set that's coming out next year. Well, that's scheduled to come out next year, rather, let me say it that way. And I'm really looking forward to how that shakes out. I'm a huge fan of the rule set. I think it's a good game for me because it's quick. It gives you lots of options, tactical choices and stuff. So when that rule set comes out, I'll probably talk about it a little bit more to demonstrate what I mean. But yeah, so this is all for now really. I just want to thank everybody for watching the videos this year. It's been really encouraging to see the number of views coming in. Again, I'm not expecting you know, hundreds and thousands of views, but it's nice to see that, you know, videos are getting a few people looking at them, and the comments are always what really make it worthwhile. Is the sense of community out there. So you know, some of the MVPs, as usual, they know who they are. They've really made it like a fun year to be part of this community and to have those conversations in comment sections and so on, and the back and forth between us as we make videos and counter videos and so on. And when I say counter videos, I don't mean like we disagree necessarily. It's just, it's good to have a conversation. It's good to get all the opinions and everybody's experience all bound up into a collective, you know, so we can understand each other better, and also what motivates our fellow wargamers. So again, I look forward to seeing everyone else's videos coming up, and I look forward to seeing if you get goodies for your Christmas or whatever that are wargaming related or even not wargaming related. I'm always excited for you. I just wanted to put this video out there to let you know Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and catch you all when I get back. I have a few videos in mind, but nothing solid yet. I'm still wrangling with how to even approach talking about Wargames rules in response to Ralph Astley's video, and I just can't. I don't feel like I've really managed to figure out how I want to say what I want to say. So perhaps I'll use this time at Christmas to give that a real think again. But thanks for watching, and hopefully catch you again soon. Take care.